something that occurs to me is that this has just occurred to me on the spot, so it may be a completely crazy idea, but nonetheless I'll share it with you. It occurs to me that it may be possible from among our own friends in India, whether order members or mitras or even just friends, to get together a sort of cultural troupe that could come to the West and tour the centres, a bit like the Tibetan lamas do with their chanting and all that sort of thing, and help perhaps to raise funds. I mean, to talk on a quite different sort of scale or level, the Hindu Ramayana has been very, very popular in the West just recently. And I'm sure Buddhists would like perhaps to give the other side of the story and have a Ravana. Ravana, of course, was the demon king of Lanka who was slain by Rama, the Hindu incarnation. Years ago, the Tamilians, who were quite opposed to the caste system and to the higher castes in general, did actually compose a Ravanayana in which Ravana was the hero, and not Rama. Ravana was the goody, not the baddie, as the Hindus make up. And in this connection, apparently, according to a letter I received, our friend Ashrajit had been rewriting mythology. In a lecture, apparently, he spoke about Ravana, who in Hindu mythology, is depicted as having, 10 heads. He compared him with Avalokiteshvara, who has 11. And according to Ashrajit, this is a different interpretation altogether. Ravana really represents Hinduism. It's only got 10 heads. Avalokiteshvara represents Buddhism. And the 11th head is compassion. And what is missing in Hinduism, and this is what Ashrajit said in the lecture, is just compassion. And certainly this is something that we find in the course of our work in India in relation to these wretched ex-untouchables, and many of them still are very wretched indeed. Hinduism is just lacking in compassion. So I thought that rather neat. Anyway, that was just sort of by the way, and yes, very likely one day we might see, who knows, a troupe, maybe just 4 or 5 to begin with, of our Indian friends coming over and presenting a lively cultural program. I would suggest nothing Western. I'm sorry to say, at this stage, not universalistic even, just Indian and distinctive to our ex-untouchable friends. They really do have some wonderful songs and melodies and even dances. I've seen some really inspiring, well, I found them inspiring. I suppose they were sort of tribal dances. Last time I experienced this was in Ahmedabad, when a party of young men danced me into the meeting area. Do you remember that? Yes. They what was it? They had these sort of castanets-like things. They danced really vigorously and almost fiercely. Several dozen of them this was, and sort of preceded me to the platform. It was very, very impressive. And it was warlike, but of course the Buddha is pressing up his ears. It was warlike, but at the same time it was dharmic. And I've suggested that some of these sort of traditions should not be discarded with Hinduism. They should be, as it were, purified and incorporated, because our friends, they need an indigenous culture. Anyway, that's by the way.